We are talking round two of the NFL draft. Here are the mock drafts. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Greg. Welcome to the Washington Football Maniacs YouTube channel. This is a channel dedicated to the Washington Commanders. If you're still calling them the Washington Redskins, I'm not going to tell you can't do that. Heck, there's still even people calling them the Washington Football Team. But whatever you call them, let's hopefully sometime soon we can call them champions, shall we? With that said, please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. With that said, let's get into today's video. So in our last video, we talked about the round one mocks, and I basically said that I think that we should do best player available, but I did mention a couple of players that I was kind of interested in. You could watch that video, so go back and watch it. That being said, let's get into the round two. So in round two, I was kind of looking around because, once you get into round two, things get a little bit interesting. You're still picking up players who could start for you, who could be good depth for you. Basically players that for one reason or another could have been first round talent, but maybe because of an injury or whatnot, they tend to slide. Well, round two, you can pick up some very, very solid talent. And so what does the Washington Commanders do at pick 47? Well, I think what they need to do at pick 47 is, again, across the board, I'm going to say best player available. But, looking at some areas that we could definitely improve on, that we can get some good depth on, I still look at the linebackers. I think Jamin Davis, as I said, alluded to before, he really improved. He came on strong toward the end part of last season. But we need more than just Jamin Davis. We lost Cole Holcomb. We put in what I call his clone, but I don't know how well that his clone is going to play. But I think that we need somebody else in there who is going to be a top round talent. And I think that if you're looking at this linebacker out of Georgia, Nakobe Dean, I think that he could be somebody who is very talented, somebody who could really be a good duo with Jamin Davis. So the read up on Dean, he's a top 25 player, and this is coming from Sam Navarro, USA Today Sports. He says he's on his big board. So he offers plenty of value in the middle of round two. At Georgia, he was leader of the best defense in the country. Dean is a three-down linebacker, and his football IQ, instincts, and speed allow him to make plays all over the field. So, a very high-level description of Nakobe Dean. But one thing I would say for sure is if there's any weak spots that are on that defense right now, it's the linebacker core. We really need more than just Jamin Davis, and we really need some solid guys there. I would say that if Nakobe Dean is the best player available at that point, you choose him because that could really help out that vaunted defense. We know that defensive line is going to be solid. Regardless of how well that Chase Young plays this year, we know that defensive line is going to be solid, but we need that linebacker crew to do their jobs. And, having somebody that could complement Jamin Davis in the linebacker position can help to shut down some tight ends, guys like that, to put less pressure on our safeties and our corners. I would take a look at Nakobe Dean. But if not, here's the thing, though. Knowing that we have picked up Eric Bieniemy as our offensive coordinator, and he's basically the assistant head coach. So he's taken a step ahead of Jack Del Rio. And knowing that he has got a lot of input by, and this is coming from Ron Rivera, he's got a lot of input into this year's draft, then we may see some more offensive firepower being drafted instead of defense. And if this is the case, I've seen this name being connected with the Washington Commanders in the draft more than once. And this is definitely an area of need, in my opinion, for the Washington Commanders. We do have John Bates. We do have the kid that we drafted last year. We didn't see him hardly at all last year. We got this Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. He has been linked to the Washington Commanders quite a bit. This write-up says arguably the best receiving tight end in the draft. Kincaid had an impressive senior season with 66 receptions for 850 yards and 8 touchdowns. Logan Thomas will turn 32 this year, and the Commanders could use some depth in their offense. He's not a traditional in-line tight end and is better as a receiver. Think of who offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy coached for a lot of years in Kansas City, who also wasn't a traditional in-line tight end. Yes, of course. This has Eric Bieniemy written all over it, Dalton Kincaid. And I think definitely, when you look at inline tight ends, someone who could be pass blockers, run blockers, and stuff like that, you're looking at more of the John Bates, I think, is who we drafted to be that guy. John Bates is not going to be the guy who's going to go out and catch passes and stuff, and so we need a good pass receiving tight end. And I think Logan Thomas, with the injuries that he's had, we need somebody young who can come in. And we've had some success in the past getting some good tight ends. We just have not been able to keep them healthy. Jordan Reed, man, he had a very promising career in the NFL, and he just could not stay healthy with, all of the concussions he sustained. But man, was he was exciting to watch. So if this Kincaid guy can come in and we actually do draft him, and I really think if Eric Bieniemy has anything to say about it, it's not going to be a linebacker, it's going to be a tight end. And I really do think that is one area that we do need is a tight end. Again, you're starting to teeter-totter on the area of drafting for needs versus drafting best player available. And I think that is just one of those things where if Kincaid is available, you definitely grab him. If not, you don't reach for him per se. If he is worth the talent, worth the pick at that spot, you definitely draft him. I don't know if he's going to be available at that point, but if so, I definitely think you go Kincaid. If not, I see no problem with going linebacker. I would like to see a corner in the second round, a good corner that could play outside. And I know that there were some corners in the first round that I was kind of interested in looking at as well. But again, I don't necessarily want to go areas of need in the first or second round. I really want to go best player available. So if that's the case and Kincaid is available, I definitely agree with that. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do you like the Kincaid pick? Do you like the Nakobe Dean pick? Or would you rather just not go with any of those guys, go with something else? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.
Hey, you stayed until the very end. Thank you so much. Watch another one right now.